exactly what you're doing. You just take too much damage all the time.
2 games I like you to do before we stop doing LPs permanently, whenever that is Bart's Nightmare and Genesis Beavis and Butthead.
I know. Oh man, it's just I've probably.
But those 2 games are like
so
impossible.
Difficult. I know. Yeah, I mean, I gotta be honest. Like, if Beavis and Butthead existed in real life, people would probably just beat them up constantly, right? Like, it's pretty realistic. They would just walk down the street and people would be like, "Hey, Butthead," and start punching him.
They kind of do that in the show. They kind of get beat up by a bunch of guys.
Right? What is his name? Todd, the blonde guy.
Yeah.
Stuart, you suck. Do you remember what band shirt Stuart's wearing?
Winger.
Winger. Yeah, I still only know the song 17 by Winger. I don't know a single other song.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, Winger was started by the bassist for Alice Cooper. I think he left Alice Cooper to do Winger, I guess.
That's interesting.
I'm pretty sure it's Alice Cooper.
Considering Winger is mostly known for its guitarist.
Maybe he was one of those where he was bassist and then like played guitar in it. I don't know. Maybe like a Dave Grohl thing where he was like, "I'm done with drums. Me playing guitar now."
Did he do that? It's pretty cool.
Yeah, because Dave Grohl was drummer in Nirvana. Then he was the guitarist in Foo Fighters.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought he was the drummer.
Hey, someone getting the best. Remember that? Remember how simple memes were 20 years ago?
Now memes are either the most elaborate thing ever or just like the 0 IQ brain rot.
It's true.
Like, I saw the OEIE cat meme. I don't know if you saw that one. It is the most brain rat thing I've ever seen.
All I have to say about that is, huh? That fat cat, huh?
That's Lasagna.
Huh? It is.
Spencer took a video of Lasagna today, and he's just so fat.
Yeah, our cat Lasagna
He does have winter fur, but he's just fat.
He used to go outside all the time, and now he just doesn't. Like, he used to go outside when it was like snow and everything, and now he just doesn't. He's
sleeps. A middle-aged man. He just wants to live in retirement. Be fat.
Yep.
At least he's not bringing you rabbits anymore.
That's true. Yeah, we have a much smaller and cuter cat, Loki, but he's an actual killer. Like, he will fully disembowel animals, and I'm like, cool. Yeah,
Loki isn't like semi-feral, but like maybe like a quarter feral. It's just like a really skittish cat, but also knows when to act cute when it wants food.
Yeah, right.
Like, when I go in the laundry room and like the food's right there, and he's sitting there, he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna be cute. I'm gonna rub my head against you." I'm like, "Screw you, Loki. You never get near me."
Yep, that's true. This. I generally do not like cats because of that. Nowadays, because they just...
Lasagna is cool other than he's just too bitey.
Yeah.
I want to pet him more, but he just bites your hand.
You have to be alpha with him, because when he does that, I'll just put like my whole hand in his mouth and be like, "Alright, if you want to bite, let's go." And then he usually stops because he's like, "This isn't fun."
He likes head pets and like scratching his cheeks, but like if you like pet anything else, he'll just bite it.
That makes sense. He's hungry all the time.
Yeah.
He's so friggin' fat.
Oh, by the way, this place reminds me of like a combination of Twilight Princess Sky Temple and Bioshock Infinite. And obviously this game
came out before Infinite.
This game came out like 7 years before Infinite, so if anything, it directly took from this game.
What's that guy's name again? Ken Levine?
Yeah.
Ken Levine.
I can't tell if Ken Levine is a hack or not, because like he made like Bioshock or System Shock 1 and 2, which are like great. Bioshock 1 is like a lot more streamlined, but still really good for like a blockbuster AAA game. But like everything after that, like Bioshock Infinite is like so bad. I don't know if it was like 2K meddling. I know people like the story in like Elizabeth in that game, but it's just so streamlined. It's like, I don't know.
What are they?
It looks cool. The game looks aesthetically cool, but I just don't like the plot.
What are they making now?
Ken Levine has been working on like some sort of vaporware project for like 10 years, and it's like...
That's just what...
And apparently System Shock 3 is like in production, but who knows like when that's going to exist. It's probably pure vaporware.
Man, that's what every like big name developer head ends up doing is just working on some crazy big passion project.
Everyone wants to be James Cameron, but James Cameron is actually successful, even though he's a lunatic
That's true.
guy who works on a thing for 10 years.
Kojima works on friggin' stupid Death Stranding for years and years. Although it didn't take quite as long. What's his name? Tim Schafer was like, I'm gonna make...
Dude, talking about Tim
Fine,
Schafer,
whatever.
I literally started playing Grim Fandango like last week, like a couple days ago. And that game is great. Other than like just like the typical adventure game, like just baffling puzzles. But that's just like any adventure game. But like the writing and like the voice acting and the direction and the world and the lore is so good.
I think they just get to the point where they've made so many good games that like their publishers are generally like afraid to say no to them because they're like, oh, it's Tim Schafer. He made Psychonauts and Grimm and stuff like that. I guess except for Kojima, because Japanese people in business do not care who you are. They will kick you out. But then he was big enough to make his own studio, which is kind of like George Lucas at Star Wars for the prequels, where he was like, you can tell no one's like, hey, Mr. Kojima, maybe this is too far. Like, everyone's just like, yes, sir!
Yeah, and you can just do what it
Which, to be
wants.
honest, I mean, he's paying them, so they're probably like, sure. And obviously, the people there don't super care if the games come out and do well, because they still have a job. I guess until the studio would shutter or whatever.
Yeah, I can't. A lot of people can compare Kojima to George Lucas, but like they're just so different. Like George Lucas is just like, Jar Jar, I'm gonna put Jar Jar in this. But like Kojima's like, first of all, you can't even like understand anything he's saying. His English is so bad. I don't know what he says in Japanese.
How do you like? Okay, I don't know a second language, right? Like Ashley speaks fluent Spanish, and if she talks it, I can like kind of understand what's going on. All right.
Yo, soy bien.
But. If you live... He lives in America, right? I'm pretty sure he does. I'm pretty sure the studio's in... I'm pretty sure.
I don't.
But not only that, but if you're such an American weeb, I don't know what that's called.
Westaboo.
A Westaboo, he loves everything American. If you're such a Westaboo, why don't you learn good freaking English then? Like, everything he does is like...
It's true.
Based off of Western Hollywood movies and stuff like that. Okay, well then learn English so you're not impossible to understand. What? Like, how does Norman Reedus talk to him? I assume...
Must be going through a translator.
I assume Norman Reedus doesn't know Japanese.
You would assume so. They must just have, like, a translator guy just on hand at all times.
And again, I don't know two languages, but again, I'm not like, if I was obsessed with Japan, I would learn Japanese, right? He's obsessed with Western stuff, so it's like, learn English, bro. Like, better. Learn it better, I guess. That's also, what a weird pairing. I know they've been together for like 10 years, but like, Kojima and Norman Reedus is like, what an odd couple, right? Like, southern, white American guy, like, I'm Norman Reedus.
That's weird.
And freaking Kojima. Like, I could see him being like best friends with like someone like Arnold Schwarzenegger or something like that. You know, like a big action movie star, like Jason Statham or something like that, right? But it's like Norman Reedus is like
It's probably the guy that like accepted his proposal, and it's just like, okay, because like before then it's like just like C-list actors.
Right. Well, they had Death Stranding had that one fat guy's Guillermo del Toro, which is like, I'm pretty sure he's based on that character.
Yeah, Guillermo del Toro definitely is like a weeb. You can obviously see it in like Pacific Rim. Like he loves giant robot kaiju stuff.
Freaking weebs!
Yeah, and it's weird because Death Stranding it wasn't a flop, but it didn't necessarily sell that well. It's like shipped a couple million units. Got a director's cut that did okay.
Yeah. All I know is the PS5 version we never have of Death Stranding.
No one buys games on PS5.
It's also true. No one buys games on PS5. And here I am just waiting for the next Quantic Dream game from my boy David Cage, and then I find out it's a friggin' Star Wars game, and it's probably vaporware, and it's like, I don't want a Star Wars game. I want X to Jason.
Yeah, talk about career suicide. Release it. It's like Ubisoft like put all their bets on stupid Star Wars, and it giga-flopped. I mean, the game wasn't good either, but you can't possibly put like a ton of money into an IP where you have to pay like...
Well, no, because Star Wars Outlaws wasn't him, obviously. It's like another Star Wars game that is not...
No,
out.
that's what I'm saying. Like,
okay.
They're doing another Star Wars game that is probably going to flop hard because no one cares about Star Wars because it's dead.
Star Wars is dead.
But Ubisoft being like, let's do an Avatar game. That one is like not like the worst decision, but that game definitely did underperform a lot.
I do think Star Wars is dead, but I honestly think Star Trek is in much worse condition. Star Wars has an iota of a chance.
Well, Star Trek only gets a couple games.
I just meant as an IP in general, the only people who care about Star Trek now are like at least 50. Like, there is nobody who's like 20, 25 years old that's like, yeah, I like Star Trek. Nobody. Because at least you have some like really hardcore people for Star Wars that are like, oh, I was like a kid during the prequels.
Yeah.
Which I guess at this point they'd be like 25 or whatever.
Probably got like virtually zero friends during the sequel era, but yeah, Star Wars had that second emergence. People like Nate loving like Star Wars because of the prequels.
Right, but Nate's like almost 30 now, and like that's probably the level where the prequel people are like 25, 30 and plus. But every single person that's like I've seen that's like I like Star Trek, or at least in their mid 40s. So I think that IP is toast. And Paramount spent a bunch of money on it.
Yeah, I think it's because Paramount just has absolutely nothing. They're just like, Star Trek? Sure. There's so many loss leaders in the streaming wars of being like, let's just greenlight something. We need something for our late streaming
They're
service.
doing that for 007. Amazon bought the rights to it. I forget what the company is, but 007.
Talk about another IP that is like just no one cares about anymore, kind of Lord of the Rings. Rings of Power, like people were like, they put like $1 billion into that, and it was like a hype for like one episode, and then people watched the one episode and it's like, oh.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's just crazy how much money can be wasted in that.
It's like they're so expensive, and then you watch the project and they're like, this is just unwatchably bad.
I forget the lady's name, but the lady who was in charge of
No. You piece of
the lady who was in charge of 007 before Amazon like bought all the rights to and again I forget the company that owns 007. And she was like talking to them, and the execs were at Amazon Studios were just saying like the most tone-deaf executive stuff ever, like, hey, 007, so like in reality 007 works best when it has like a movie come out like every 2 to 4 years, so it remains in the public consciousness, but it's not like you're not like it's not like Star Wars where it's like, here's a show, here's this thing, here's whatever. And the Amazon executives were like, we need content. We need to make lots of 007 content. We need this show. We need this movie. We need the side thing. We just need content. We need lots of minutes of 007. Lots of stuff. And obviously the lady as a head of it was like seething, because it's like, cool. When someone says we need content, that doesn't mean you need something good. It means
you just need something to exist.
A show to exist. It's kind of like when Fox owned the rights to like Fantastic Four and Spider-Man, and in their clause they had to like utilize the IP or else they use it or lose it, which is why every like 10 years they came out with a Fantastic Four movie even if no one wanted it and it was awful.
I just don't understand why they would fight for the IP rights as something they clearly don't give a crap about and don't think they're gonna make money.
I'm pretty sure Fox still owns the rights to Spider-Man, the movie ones at least. So, which is why, like, even when Spider-Man's in Marvel movies, it still has to have, like, the Fox rights and whatever. Which is, like, just so crazy. But yeah, like, why... I mean, they probably didn't pay, they didn't pay, like, billions of dollars. But, like, why own an IP if you have to be, like, told to use it? Like, it just should be naturally that
it must
you're,
just be
trying
like,
to use it.
well, we have it, so it means no one else can have it.
Right,
It must
right.
just be literally that.
I was reminded recently of 2015's Fantastic Four, which people call, like, colloquially, they call Fan-Four-tastic, because the title was Fantastic, but the FA, was a 4, because funny.
We're epic.
It's like Driver 3, the game Driver 3, where the E is a 3. I'm like, I hate this. I would never play that game just because they call it Drive 3er. Remember Driver? Remember when GTA clones could exist? Because they could be made, like, fairly economically. And it wasn't just GTA 5 and its billion, trillion, zillion dollars.
Are you ready for GTA 6 to be the final video game? When that comes out, there's going to be no more video games.
GTA 6 and Nintendo. That's it.
How do you get away from this?
Is GTA 6 coming out on the Switch too? Yes. Absolutely.
Yo, if they made like GTA 5, I know I'm advocating for another GTA 5 port, but GTA 5 for the Switch would sell gangbusters.
It really would, wouldn't it? Rockstar needs to come out with, like, a collection, like, just a remastered collection of, like, some of their harder-to-find games, like Manhunt 1 and 2 and The Warriors and stuff like that.
That'd be cool.
I
Warriors,
guess,
they probably can't do because it's probably owned.
I was gonna say licensing rights, they probably don't own it, but Manhunt they could.
I think it's owned by, like, Lionsgate or something.
Yeah.
I don't know how I know that.
And, was Rockstar Max Payne, or am I thinking of something?
It was published by Rockstar, but it was made by Remedy.
That's right, Remedy.
Made Alan Wake.
Yeah. But then it wasn't for the third one. I think it was Take-Two for Max Payne 3.
Take-Two is now Rockstar's
Oh,
publisher.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, so it was.
I think it was still made by Remedy.
That's one game I need to play, and I think I'd like it, is Control by Remedy. It seems like kind of the perfect mixture between, like, Alan Wake and, like, Quantic Dreams games, but it has, like, more gameplay than Quantic Dreams games. That is one I want to check out. And apparently it's in the Alan Wake universe. Like, the character's not in it, but for some reason... It takes place in the same universe, and there's, like,
it's cool.
little stuff. And that'll work in the meantime, because I'm never going to play Alan Wake 2. Smug Peppy with closed eyes holding his arms. Just not going to do it.
I don't know why, but when you said "in the meantime," I instantly thought of that Space Hog song.
In the meantime... We were at band practice earlier. We were just messing around with different songs. And one of the guys started playing the riff for that song, She Effing Hates Me. Remember that one? And I'm like, why were there so many songs in the 2000s about, like, it's almost like the boomer humor of, like, hey, my wife. Where it's like, my girlfriend, she effing hates me. And then there's, I hate everything about you.
That was the hate
you
generation.
Love me.
Bass boost ball.
Let's go.
Let me show you why the Hyperball sucks. Like, these guys are so weak. Look how little...
Oh, wow. It took, like, your whole thing.
It took the whole thing and it killed, like, half of them.
Yikers.
What?
Just leaves.
I was pushing C to get out of the boost ball, but I couldn't. Or more cool.
There's this, speaking of older bands, there's this general meme. Have you ever heard of the band, Trapped? They did, I know you've heard this song, and it's the only song they're known for. Headstrong, I'll take you on. Headstrong, I'll take on anyone.
Probably.
Yeah, it's like Nickelback tier. Anyway. So, like, they have famously, like, they're still a band, and they have famously been playing, like, the smallest shows, like, possible. For, like, a band that was, like, a top 40 hit. Like, I don't know if it was number one, but it was, like, a top 40 hit. Everyone knew it. Like, they're playing at places where, like, literally there are, like, 5 people. And it's just really funny. And it's also even
They just do it on purpose?
Well...
Or are they, like, that small now?
They're that, like, unpopular. The lead singer is also, like, ridiculously, annoyingly political. And it makes even conservative people being like, ugh, cringe, dude.
Oh, so he's...
Yeah.
He's a right-toid.
Yes.
As you like to say.
Yes. And it's just so funny to see, like, hey, this is Trap playing at some little bar, and, like, there's, like, literally 5 people watching them, and it's, like, while they're playing. It's not like, oh, this is sound check or whatever. And I just think it's the funniest thing. Because you can have, like, a local band that gets, like, 20 people to show up, you know what I mean? Like, a local bad band could get 20 people to show up.
Yeah, you play at CIB all the time. Just kidding.
Hey, I get 20 people to show up. Headstrong, I'll take you on. I do miss that early 2000s aesthetic of every single singer going, here.
That one, Warriors of Rock song that you put on the CIB playlist. Oh god, I just don't remember how it goes at all, but whenever I play it, I'm like, it's just like peak 90s.
I wish I knew.
Might come to me someday. I wish my brain worked.
We were on kind of a longer car ride last week, and Ash was like, "What band do you want the Spotify radio to be?" And I was like, "Limp Bizkit." And she did it. I was surprised. and
Did it just play a bunch of new metal with the radio?
It played a bunch of new metal, but then it played stuff like literally, I hate everything. And I was like, okay. Where was I going? Oh. And like 5 songs in. So if anyone uses Spotify, which I'm sure a lot of people do, the random generator on Spotify is like unbelievably broken.
It was just...
It's crazy.
Trash.
I have like 900 songs on the CAB playlist, and it'll play, and it's on random, and it'll play like 3 of the same bands one in a row. And I'm like, what are the odds? If this was truly random, what are the odds? And it played, This Is How You Remind Me. And I was like, dude, and I was like, do not change this. I was like, we're gonna have, I was like, I asked for Limp Bizkit radio, and like 4 songs in, it's playing Nickelback. I'm like, let's go, dude. Like, do not change this. And I was reminded of that song, and it's also on GH5? Warriors of Rock? I don't think it's on Warriors of Rock. It's on one of the GH games. It has literally Nickelback. It's probably GH5 because I don't remember a single thing from that game.
Alright, we're getting close to the end of this part. Just like 5 more minutes.
Headstrong, I'll take you on.
Oh, the song I was thinking of is I Got a Machine Head.
Oh, Bush.
Yeah.
That one, right?
Yeah.
Breathe in, breathe out. Do I have the song Glycerin on? I don't think I do.
I don't think so.
Dude, Bush was one of those bands that had just one album of absolute bangers, and then no one knows anything else. It has like Glycerin and Machine here. And like, I don't know, it's just like literally every song on their first album's a banger, and then no one can name a single one on any of the other ones, except for you bushheads out there. Am I right? Although I am unironically a huge Alien Ant Farm fan, and obviously 99% of human beings, if you're like Alien Ant Farm, they're like, oh, Smooth Criminal. And I'm like, yeah, that is a jam, but what about the others?
The only other
What about Other Game?
The only other Alien Ant Farm song I know is Movies, which is also a good song.
Other Game! All the Alien Ant Farm, bro.
Ship status alert. Unknown.
Uh-oh. Goat!
Commencing hull lockdown.
They actually got back together a couple years ago, and they're all just like 45-year-old dads now, and I'm like, this is based. This is what I need. Like, they're not pretending to be like rock stars. They're like, yeah, we're just dads, and we came out with a new album, and it's like based. I like this thing. It's also just kind of funny to watch.
It's like, it's one of those things where it's like, you get it, and then they keep making you do it, and it's like, okay.
Right. And it's timing based, right?
Yeah, it's you have to hold B and release it really quick, but you can't do it too fast or you drop it.
Yeah.
Also, I'd like to know what the purpose of this machine is, other than being a specific half pipe for me right now. Like,
No,
what the crap is this thing?
it
Let's see if there's lore. Is it like a satellite array? Half pipe. It doesn't even like give an excuse for a half pipe. It's just a half pipe.
It reflects light. It reflects light. Tony Hawk, eat your eyes out.
Yeah, every single Metroid Prime game has half pipes and the boost ball and the spider ball. The spider ball is the one that you can attach to magnetic rails. But in this game, it's like they give it to you way, way too late. It's like when the third planet is like half done. You actually have to backtrack to this planet to get it. There's two egregious backtrack parts, and it's getting the screw attack and it's getting the spider ball. And I think the spider ball one is the worst one by far. But that's not for a while, so I'll complain about it later.
Wee!
Yeah, it's like, once you do it like 2 times, you're like, yep. And they keep making you do it.
What if they made you stop right on that? Like, if you did it one press too much, it just continued around and you had to go the whole way around again?
Oh, that'd be brutal. Cool. So, yeah, this is the part that I wanted to end on. I'm glad that we got it all. This went past a bit over an hour, so I apologize about that.
It's unacceptable. Headstrong, I'll take you on. Oh no, we're gonna get demonetized. What if the YouTube AI was like that?
Just
hardcore.
You singing it, like, not even, like, super well.
Dude, what if you were like, hey Jude, and it's like, nope, demon. Like, well, with the Beatles,
would do that.
with the Beatles, they are that hardcore.
Yeah.
What if, like, yeah, you even like a not famous Beatles song, and your bird can sing.
What was the other hardcore? The Eagles is really hardcore.
Eagles,
I believe.
Eagles, we literally could never have a single second of. Yeah, whoever owns Eagles songs is like the worst at being like, oh, you're a 1,000 sub channel that's not monetized, and this video is gonna get 50 views. Completely taken down. It's like, oh, okay, because I remember that one was even more hardcore, where they were like, there was a while when we were doing Guitar Hero songs where they were like, this cannot be shown in Russia or Belarus. And honestly, I was like, okay,
It's
sorry.
like, what?
Sorry, Russia. Well, it's because Warner Music Group was like, this is our stance against the Russian-Ukraine thing, is you can't listen to this music in Russia because Russia bad.
Makes sense.
Which is like, okay, I get it. But if that ever happened, I was like, whatever. But sometimes they're like, this could not be seen anywhere worldwide for any reason because it has 1 second of Hotel California. And it's like, oh God, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry, Eagle Senpai.
AI Senpai, please. But it's not quite as bad as that Pokemon Channel Pichu and Pichu thing.
Yeah,
where
screw you, Pokemon Company.
You literally couldn't have this random Pichu and Pichu, like 1 second movie thing where you're watching it in a game of a show. I think that show was made just for that game, and it was like, nope.
No, you must see it in the Pokemon Channel. A game we don't even sell for the past 20 years.
Yeah, right.
No, get off my ship, goat.
What?
Oh, this part's pretty cool. Literally just flings your ship at you.
What?
At least they're giving this guy dialogue before he dies right now. He said a couple words to me, unlike the ice guy who said absolutely nothing.
So everything will be corrupted, including you.
I'm already corrupted.
Alright, how do I do this place? Okay, I remember.
You probably shoot the big red thing on his back.
Yeah, probably. The classic shockwave that's every boss does.
I hope he doesn't figure out my Achilles heel, which is the big red vulnerable spot on my back.
Right, this guy has lay 3 phases.
Ghor.
The other crazy thing about the Hyper Beam is that you're invulnerable during it. It's just way too OP.
Samus, no!
What am I getting hurt by?
Well, you also weren't losing any damage.
No, come on. Oh, he's using like the plasma beam, I guess. He's leaving plasma. Dude!
Ghor. It's not like you to say sorry.
I don't know the words at all.
I actually watched like a 30-minute video on why Nickelback is like overhated, and I definitely agree with it. Like, Nickelback, I mean, it's not as bad as it was, but like 5-10 years ago, Nickelback was synonymous with bad music. So if you were like Nickelback, it'd be like, I like Nickelback, it'd be like, well, you have bad taste in music, automatically.
I like Nickelback.
And it's like, there's literally, they're not bad musicians, it's not bad. In fact, some of the stuff they make is pretty catchy. I think the problem is it's so generic that people were like, well, how the hell is this so popular? But it was very interesting to see somebody take that stance and be like, let's talk about why Nickelback is so hated. And I forget the exact reasons, but there was like, first of all, they're Canadian, and it's really fun to make fun of Canada.
A leaf!
A freaking leaf. Day of the Rake when. It's just really fun to make fun. I'm sorry to our Canadian brothers, and sisters. It's really fun to make fun of Canadians. Just like you can call Americans burgers and say we're fat, because we are and we do. It's a lot less funny when someone just fully accepts it. Like if someone's like, be American, get shot, be fat. I'm like, yeah.
I embrace that.
I'm like, okay. It's just like, Australians are the best ever at that. They're like, hey, why don't you go get eaten by a wallaby? They're like, yeah, mate. It's like, damn it, like you can't troll that. But you say anything about Canada, they're like, yay, now that's not very nice, eh? And you're like, go. Go eat your poutine, bruh.
Alright, base first beam upgrade.
Let's go!
In this game, I've said it before, but they're permanent. You can never, like, turn this off. Not that you want to.
Okay.
But it doesn't feel necessarily like super strong. Like in the other games, especially when you get the plasma beam and like the light beam and the dark beam in Metroid Prime 2, like they're like significantly stronger than the power beam. Although they have ups and downs. But in this game it's like it's just like marginally stronger than the power beam, but it's mostly just to like open up like red doors. And it's cool. I definitely like it. But it's just a weird game to have permanent upgrades in the game where you just use the hyper beam for literally everything.
Right.
Okay, so this is... I guess I'll complain about this next time. So there's something that I want to leave the planet because we have the plasma beam. I want to leave the planet right now to get the screw attack. But because Goat BTFO'd your ship, they're going to force me to do a section where I have to go to another ship, like shuttle spot, like to land the ship, and then by then I'll be arbitrarily fixed, and then I can leave the planet. It's just another, we have to go past this entire place again, and then go to another place, just showing off how bad the map design is in this. It's just really annoying. But we'll get to that next time.
Can't wait. I've been there. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Canada.